The following is a deep dive podcast generated by Notebook LM based on content from my upcoming book. In this podcast, we answer this. How can two simple questions reveal everything you need to know about your customers' biggest challenges and their vision for the future? And now, let's listen to the podcast.
You know, when you first mentioned using just 2 questions to get deep customer insights, I have to admit, I was a little skeptical.
Yeah.
I was picturing like some cheesy sales training video.
Right.
Like, ask these magic words and boom, you close the deal.
Yeah.
But then, going through the material you sent over, I'm starting to see how this could be a lot more effective than I initially thought.
Yeah, it does sound a little almost too simple.
Right.
But I think that's part of what's so interesting about this approach. It cuts through a lot of the complexity that we're so used to.
Yeah.
Especially, in the enterprise tech world.
And especially in sales, right? I mean, we've talked about this before, but, who actually enjoys just trying to hit their quota leaning on discounts? Nobody.
For sure. And this approach, I think, is all about shining a light on value.
Okay.
And it really resonates specifically with those customers who are trying to solve really complex business problems.
Okay, so you've officially piqued my interest. Let's dive into these 2 magic questions. What are they?
Okay, so the first one is all about zeroing in on pain points, but it's phrased very specifically. What pain points are you and others experiencing around the business capabilities you need to improve in order to be excellent?
Okay, I will say that's a bit of a mouthful.
It is.
But you're not messing around with getting specific here. I mean, do you actually use that whole phrase verbatim when you're talking to somebody?
You definitely want to tailor it to the situation.
Right.
But I think the real key is to steer the conversation beyond just general complaints. We really want to get at the specific business capabilities that are absolutely critical for their success.
So instead of just hearing somebody complain about data silos, it's more about understanding how those silos are impacting their ability to, improve their data security, maybe for compliance purposes.
Exactly. It's about framing their pain points within the context of their larger strategic goals.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So what about this second question? Is that where we swoop in with the solution?
Not quite yet. So this question isn't about jumping into problem-solving mode just yet.
Okay.
It's about tapping into their aspirations, really trying to understand what their long-term vision is. And the way that we do that is by asking, what are you and others dreaming of for the future around the business capabilities you need to improve in order to be excellent?
Ooh. Okay, so it's kind of like you're asking them to channel their inner Steve Jobs here.
Yeah.
Paint a picture of their ideal future state.
Precisely.
I like it.
And what's so interesting is more often than not, those dreams, they actually reveal even deeper insights than by focusing solely on the immediate pain points.
Interesting.
It helps you understand the why behind their desires.
So those 2 questions, they're kind of like our foot in the door.
Yeah.
But I know in the notes you sent over, we're going beyond those surface level answers, right?
Right.
How do we actually make sure we're not just scratching the surface?
Yeah. So that's really where it gets interesting. So let's say a customer, tells you it takes forever to wrangle data from our legacy CRM, right?
Yeah.
Into a format that works for, with our analytics platform. And that's a really common one.
Totally, yeah.
But you don't want to just write down data integration issues and be done with it, right? We need to actually understand what kind of impact this is having on their business.
Right.
So instead of just nodding along, what are some questions we can ask to sort of get at that deeper level?
Yeah, what do we ask?
I think about it almost like how often, how much, and who else.
Okay.
Right. So you might say something like, okay, well, how often are you wrestling with this data integration process?
Right.
Or what kind of time and resources are you currently dedicating to this?
Right.
And then, maybe most importantly, you could even ask okay, well, how many other folks on your team are being slowed down by this bottleneck?
Right, because we're talking about getting those granular details. Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like sometimes maybe even the customer hasn't even thought about the true cost of some of these inefficiencies until you start to really put numbers to it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think, when you're able to quantify that cost, the cost of inaction, right? That's when you start to transition from just pitching a product to actually revealing a real business problem.
And that's huge, right? That realization that sticking with the status quo is actually way more expensive than investing in a solution.
For sure. And this is really powerful in enterprise tech because Oftentimes solutions come with a pretty hefty price tag.
Totally.
But if you can frame that in the context of this is, helping you solve this really big problem, then it makes it easier to justify.
Right. Okay. And so then thinking about their dreams, right?
Yeah.
We don't just stop at, they want a fully integrated data ecosystem.
Right.
And we call it a day.
Exactly. We want to unpack those dreams as well, right?
So if they say something like that, a fully integrated data ecosystem, what does that actually look like?
Okay.
What specific systems are you hoping to integrate?
And then, how does that actually improve your business, right? What's the measurable impact?
Exactly. Are you trying to, shorten your software development cycles? Or, are you trying to improve your data-driven decision-making or even open up new revenue streams?
Right.
The more we understand their vision, the better we can actually position our solution to be this is how we get you there.
Okay, this is all making a lot of sense. So we've had these conversations, we've asked these questions, we've dug a little deeper. I'm already overwhelmed thinking about all this information.
Right.
How do you actually keep track of everything? I can barely remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
Right. Yeah.
How am I going to remember all these pain points and all these dreams?
Yeah. Well, that's where the structured interview notes come in.
Okay, right. This wasn't just for show in the notes you sent me.
Yeah. This is key because this is how we actually organize these insights in a way that we can use them.
Okay.
So it's almost like you're building like a customer insight database.
Okay.
Instead of just scribbling random thoughts down on a napkin.
Right.
You have a system for this.
So walk me through an example then. So let's say somebody says, data integration, it's a nightmare.
Right.
How do we take that and actually turn that into something that's actionable?
Okay. So let's say, a customer mentions that they're really struggling to get this single accurate view of their customer data because it's, fragmented across their CRM, their marketing automation platform, their customer support system.
Yeah, classic.
Right. And this lack of visibility is, causing delays in their sales cycle. And it's impacting their ability to really personalize their marketing efforts.
Okay. Yeah. Data silos on overdrive here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in your notes,
Yeah.
right, you would capture this under pain point story.
Okay.
And you would just document the specific challenge that they're facing.
Okay.
And then maybe under cost metrics, you might note that, this fragmented data is extending their sales cycle by an average of, 2 weeks.
Right.
Which is leading to, X% of lost deals each quarter.
And real dollars attached to that?
Exactly. And that's where you start to connect the dots.
Right. Right.
Between, okay, this is the pain point and this is the value of actually solving it.
Okay, I like it. So now we've got this treasure trove of insights from these questions. What do we do? What happens next? So we've had these conversations, really dug deep, got all these great insights nicely organized. Now what?
That's where things get really interesting. Instead of just pitching a product, you're becoming a trusted advisor.
Right, more of a partner.
Exactly, a partner who truly understands their needs and goals.
Which honestly makes those conversations so much more engaging for everyone involved.
Absolutely. You build those stronger, more authentic relationships. You're not just trying to make a sale. You're working together to solve real problems.
So it's less about pushing features and more about finding solutions together.
Exactly. And it all starts with those 2 deceptively simple questions. Who knew asking the right questions could unlock so much value?
It's really got me thinking, are there other questions, seemingly obvious ones, that we might be overlooking in all sorts of areas?
That's a powerful thought. Sometimes the most profound insights are right in front of us. It's a good reminder to always be curious and truly listen.
Well said. This has been a fantastic deep dive. I feel like I've got a whole new perspective.
My pleasure. Always great to explore these simple yet powerful techniques.
So, there it is. What do you think? To recap, we covered unlocking insights with 2 powerful questions, becoming a trusted partner, and structured insights for actionable outcomes. Number 1. Unlocking insights with 2 powerful questions. By asking customers about their pain points and their dreams related to their business, you can uncover valuable insights that will help you drive business solutions. Going beyond surface-level answers and digging into metrics, cost impacts, and desired outcomes helps you build a comprehensive understanding of your customers' challenges and aspirations. Number 2. Becoming a trusted partner. When you understand your customers' challenges and dreams, You transition from being just a vendor to becoming a trusted partner. You become a partner who is invested in your customer's success. And number 3, structured insights for actionable outcomes. Organizing the information uncovered during the discovery process into structured interview notes ensures that you don't miss any crucial details, making it easier to develop actionable business cases. Capturing detailed information like pain point stories, cost metrics, and potential value outcomes creates a roadmap for delivering effective solutions. My name is Paul. I'm the Value Coach. Thanks for joining.